Jenny on a beat, boy.
Legends, legends, legends. Welcome back, legends, 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 legends. Welcome back, legends. Been a long time coming to you brand new. Better rock the sunglasses cause we shining on through. Anime, yeah, it's amazing, let me show it to you. About to drop it, this the intro, coming at you, season 2. You can't rock it, you can't stop it, cause we're more than enough. Like Naruto, darkness, hatred, crushing all of that stuff. Time to have some fun, you know we starting these riots with Luffy. Yeah, you know him, he's the king of a pirate. If you catch nothing else, simple lesson is just this. Goku is the answer when they cry out for justice. You can step into a world where adventure never ends. I'm AfroX, your guide, this is Anime Legends. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the season finale. This is episode 20 of season 2 of Anime Legends. My name is AfroX, the anime guide, and I am here. Sorry about that. I am here with my eldest brother, whose name is Jesse, although he's going by Jesseru today.
Hello.
Oh,
what's going down, Afro?
I have to have my headphones in order to hear you.
Oh, hi, Afro X.
Hey, Jesseru. In the chat already, we have Trix the Anime Hater, who says, "Welcome, older brother Fro."
Thank you.
Right. As I just said, this is my eldest brother Jesse. And getting right into it, Jesse is an amazing, very, very talented artist. He's done comic books. He's done art pieces, art projects at like what is it? Different grocery stores and stuff like that. Like his stuff really should be in a museum. But most impressive is that he worked on an actual video game. If any of you have ever heard of it, it's called Hand of Fate, and it's a really cool game. And Jesse, why don't you tell us some of what you did with Hand of Fate?
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for the nice intro.
No problem.
For a few years, I was working for a little indie video game development company in Australia called Defiant Development. And through that company, we produced 2 video games and a board game that I worked on called Hand of Fate. The series was called Hand of Fate. So there was Hand of Fate 1, Hand of Fate 2, and then a board game called Hand of Fate. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. Hand of Fate. Oh my gosh, what was the subtitle of the board game? Ordeals. Hand of Fate Ordeals. And so I was, one of the fun things about that is that not only did I get to work on the board games, but I was one of the only people that were involved in the video games that worked on both, the video games and the board game. So that was kind of an honor to be part of the transition between those 2 projects. So yeah, my work with those projects lasted about 5 years. And that's yeah, it was a really cool history and a really cool project.
Okay. Thank you for saying that. Um, kind of to expand on that a little more, in the game Hand of Fate there are like cards, and you can, so pretty much the game Hand of Fate is where you can build a deck of cards, and then the game shifts to being an RPG type style, and you
Yeah,
use the things in those cards in the real world, or in the real world, in the world of the game. And
yes,
Jesse here drew the artwork for those cards, and so
yeah.
in a way designed the characters for the game. Not fully, but yes,
Well,
got
yeah, I would
the
say that
aesthetic for it.
anything that was represented in 3D in the game was designed by some other character designers and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was like a concept designer kind of dude who took care of like the main characters of the game and some of the like armor and weapons and things. And then there were environmental artists and stuff. And so uh I did 2D like old fashioned black and white uh, kind of woodcut style illustrations of some of those characters for some of the cards. But then my main job was to do hundreds of storytelling cards that where I could just kind of like make up my own visuals for the generic kind of world that was taking place in the storytelling part of the cards. So if they featured some of those characters that other people designed, then I'd kind of like adapt those into my old fashioned card style. Um, and if they didn't feature those, then it was just all my original, just kind of storytelling art. So that was a really cool honor to be able to, when you get into battles and when you have the 3D portion of the game where the fights happen and stuff, those are just like very small environments that feature just like fighting characters.
Mhm.
And so it was fun to be able to have the job of fleshing out the world of the games uh, outside of the boundaries of those small fighting environments. So anything else that was part of the world of those games, I got to be responsible for just kind of like making up how all of that looked.
That's
And so that was really exciting.
that's
Which was cool
super
because
cool.
then all I had to do was draw pictures, which then got turned into three-dimensional like cards in the game, like a deck of storytelling cards. And uh, I didn't have to do any 3D modeling or texturing. I just had to draw pictures, which was awesome. Um, and so yeah, they just kind of liked my old fashioned style of ink drawing, and it fit really well with the kind of medieval art style that they wanted to use for the cards in those games. So I felt really fortunate to be able to be able to have that job.
That's really really cool. That's that's super awesome. Uh, well, to hear that you got to work on that, and that there was so much in depth with the game. Um, really really quick, do you still have that Akira comic behind you there?
Oh yeah, the Japanese ones.
Yeah, could you show it to us?
Sure. Yeah. Yes, behind me is a mess of bedding and boxes and books and stuff. Because the room we moved recently, and the room that I'm in is gonna be my office and my art kind of art space and stuff. And it's like kind of the last unfurnished room of the house. So there's like a really sad lack of blank space behind me that will soon be looking a lot more fun. But right now it's pretty empty. Um, I think you want to see these.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the original Japanese volumes of the Akira series. I got these while I was teaching English in Tokyo back in the late 90s. Um, I am a really huge uh, Otomo Katsuhiro fan, and so these are like I felt so lucky to be able to get these while I was living there. Um, was already a big Akira fan by the time I went to Japan and lived there for a few years.
That
So,
is
yeah, if nobody's read these are still today some of the most beautiful comics that have ever been created. They
yeah.
are a treasure.
That is super cool. Like, I know myself, and I absolutely go crazy over manga, especially like that kind of manga, because for all of you out there, those manga volumes are actually still in the original Japanese, and
Oh yeah. Yeah, here I can show some of that.
yeah,
Here, let's
and it
find some good speech bubbles.
and it
Here we go.
absolutely here.
Yeah, there we go. And there's my nose. Yeah, freaking great art in these. They're just gorgeous, man. I could read these a billion times in a row.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
never
no,
stop being the best comic ever. They're so great.
that is extremely, extremely cool, especially to get to see the juxtaposition of like um that versus like what you see in the movie and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's awesome because the movie is like one tiny, like maybe about a sixth or a fifth of the story that's in those
Really?
volumes. It's such a huge, awesome story.
Wow.
So many
That's
fun characters and classic. It's just a classic of manga.
nice. All right. Okay, so I wanted to get through that. Right about now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna talk about some of the sponsors and stuff.
Sure.
All right. So as some of you regular viewers know, like you tricks and things, uh, like you tricks, um, we do have a Patreon that you can check out at www.patreon.com/AfroX. You go on there, you'll find the website saying AfroX is creating anime content, and indeed I am. So on there, you can sign up to donate to the channel in increments of 5, 10, 30, 50, or $100 a month, and you'll get different awards at the different levels. Um, just a really quick rundown. $5 a month, you'll get your name shown at the end of every edited video. $10 a month, you'll get your name shown and announced. $30 a month level, you'll get the same rewards as the previous tiers. Plus, you will get a link to my secret Discord where I'll be doing anime showings, and you'll also get every edited video one day early. At the $50 a month level, you'll get all the previous tiers plus an official AfroX t-shirt. Plus, you link to join in on any live stream that I do. So those are the different tier rewards and stuff like that. If you want to check us out on Facebook, we're on Facebook as AfroX. There is also, we're kind of lagging a bit here. But there is also a, what is it, an AfroX official. Why am I blanking here? There's an AfroX official fan club group on Facebook. That's right. If you join that, you'll be able Okay. Sorry about that technical difficulties. We're back.
No problem.
All right. So that was all the sponsors and stuff like that. Before we go into the next part, I just want to look at what Trix has been saying in the chat. Designing the art of the cards does count as being heavily involved. Awesome, bro.
Thank you very much. Even though the company is now defunct and we won't be making any more Hand of Fate stuff, the game is still purchasable. And as far as like whether it's worth playing or not, I highly recommend Hand of Fate 2. It's available on pretty much every platform, and it's a very unique game. There's nothing else really like it, or at least there wasn't at the time that we designed it. It's kind of like if Dungeons and Dragons and Diablo and tarot cards had a baby together. And it has really decent fighting. It's got a really fun mechanic where the main part of the game is this cool narrator character sitting at a table with you, kind of dealing out like a map of cards from the deck. And so you really feel like he kind of acts as like a dungeon master. So it really feels like it's kind of like a solo Dungeons and Dragons campaign, where the story is kind of semi-randomly told through the storytelling cards. You never know quite what's going to come up where, and by discovering new cards as you progress through the game, you can then add them to your deck so that the next time you try, kind of in roguelike fashion, new things pop up and new opportunities for storylines or new chances for cool weapons and powers and stuff get kind of like interspersed as you play. And so it's kind of semi-random, semi-procedural, but it also has a fun story with fun characters. And there's really nothing quite like it. And I just was really proud to be part of such a unique project. So if people like, if you like adventure games and you like roguelikes, especially, it's not a true roguelike because it's got like chapters that you can replay. So it's not just like you're always starting from the beginning of something. There's different objectives per like 22 or so campaigns in it. But each of the campaigns have enough variation in the objectives that you have and the story that it's trying to tell, that it's really interesting. And I love the feedback that I've gotten from fans just saying how much kind of personality the cards help the game to have outside of the 3D part of the play. So yeah, I recommend it. And the board game too is like one of the best, funnest, most unique board games I've played in a long time too. So yeah, if you have the chance to try the board game out called Hand of Fate Ordeals, it's unique in and of itself too. It's like an RPG and a deck builder put together. If you like the game Clank, a lot of players compare it to Clank because it has that deck building and kind of adventure kind of combination. But in my opinion, Hand of Fate does it in a more interesting way and has a better battle system. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Nice.
You can play it on Tabletop Simulator, by the way, which is fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very cool. Tabletop Simulator, for people who haven't heard about it, I think is like an online tabletop simulator.
Yeah, you can download it through Steam or whatever, and basically play board games on your computer. There's hundreds and hundreds of board games that you can play on there, and it's really cool. You
Nice.
can play multiplayer on it with friends, and it's basically just a sweet way to play board games with friends at a distance.
Cool, cool. Well, moving on to the meat and potatoes of this stream. Um, so back in the late 90s, I believe you said you were in Japan and you taught English to Japanese people. And can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, I lived in Japan at two different times. One was from 98 to 99. That was my first year there, just being an English teacher. And then the second time was from 2003 to 2005, where I continued to teach English, did a little bit of art teaching as well. Um, and also
What
was the
part of Japan did
pastor.
you live in?
Sorry, what part?
Yes.
Um, I was the first time I was there. I lived in uh, a neighborhood near Machida in the city of Sagamihara, which is part of Tokyo. And then the next time that I was there also was in a more central part of Tokyo called Kokubunji. Um, and so yeah, Sagamihara-shi and Kokubunji-shi were the two kind of suburbs or districts of Tokyo that I lived in. Not suburbs, districts of the main city of Tokyo.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the second time that I was there, in addition to English teaching, I was also the pastor of a Baptist worship service, an English worship service, where yeah, it was really cool. I didn't know enough Japanese to be able to like do big messages or anything like that, but the whole thing was translated into Japanese by translators. It was fun for people who wanted to do like a church thing in English to come there, and it was a blast. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Nice. Very cool. Um, so just a couple extra things about Jesse. Uh, you always remind me, um, that in a way I'm a bit of a fraud because I always say anime, and you always remind me that it's pronounced anime.
Well, I try not to be annoying about it, but that's how I say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and that yeah, that is the like Japanese pronunciation of it and stuff. And the other thing I wanted to point out is I've told you guys in streams before about the origins of me getting into manga anime. But this guy right here is the guy who he just left a Doraemon comic book that was in English that was actually used at the time to teach Japanese people English in a closet at our family's home. And I happened to find it and start reading it. And that is how I got into manga, how I learned to read manga from the right to left style. And really how I got into anime. Of course, when I was just a kid, I watched Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon and all that stuff. But that was the first time that I really was like, okay, this is anime. This is the stuff that this is the stuff that all of this other stuff is based on. And so really, I want to thank you, Jesse, because without you having gone to Japan and leaving that book there, this channel might not even exist.
Well, that is my honor. It makes me super, super happy that you got so excited about it and kind of carried on that interest. I love that we're able to share that together, and I mean, it's one of the my passion areas of my life, and so to have anybody in my family that loves it as much as I do, I think I can officially say that you love it even more than I do,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
and that's saying something. So no, I'm really proud to have introduced that to you, and I'm really glad that that became an important part of both of our lives.
Yeah. Um, so just for a really fun part, kind of coming to the end here because these usually last like half hour to 45 minutes. But just as a really fun part, so I do a lot of content about One Piece, and you had told me the other day that you were starting back into reading One Piece, and
Yeah.
you were about at the end of the Dressrosa arc, and so you told me a lot about it, but can you tell like the people who are watching what you really liked about the Dressrosa arc?
About that specifically?
Well, or just like One Piece in general, but yeah.
Well, I think we've discussed before how I don't watch as much anime as I do read manga.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't even read it as much manga as I'd like to. Um, but I, being an illustrator and loving just the drawn picture, um, I I think just what I love most about One Piece, opposed to a lot of other manga, is just how I don't. There's very few comics anywhere in the world that have like the sense of joy and fun and goofiness, um, and just kind of like a celebration of being alive and free
Yeah.
that One Piece does. Uh, yeah, Oda Sensei, he's amazing. Um, I th- I just really have the biggest crush on him in the world. He I feel like he's like not just like a national treasure, but like if someday aliens came to Earth and we like established a good relationship with them and started sharing all the best things about our planet with them, all the best things we've invented and all the food that we've created and all the fun ways that we create things, um all the different ways that we make art and make things for each other to enjoy. I feel like I would give him to aliens as like an example of just how much pure like fun you can have just being alive.
Yeah.
Just how much just like beauty and joy and celebration of friendship and adventure that is possible to have inside somebody's brain. Um, I feel like I hope that when he dies, they just like that he's the first guy that's able to have like his brain completely uploaded into an artificial intelligence environment and simulated that way so that we can forever still have his imagination to be able to play around with.
For sure.
I just I can't believe I can't believe how nonstop fun his animation or his imagination is. Man, I when you asked about Dressrosa, like everything up to that point, so there's so much. That's like 800 issues up to that point, and up to that point there'd been so much going on, and then I was like, like what, what else is there to do? Like how, like every arc of that story, you think like what else is there? Like he's done so much, so many different things, so many fun ideas, and then the Dressrosa arc gets finished, and then all of a sudden they're playing around with a whole island of animal people on the back of a giant elephant, and it's like, oh yeah, I guess they're we haven't done this yet.
Yeah.
And it's just nonstop. His imagination is one of the most long-term, massive, nonstop celebrations of just fun adventure ever. Like I put him like right next to like J.R.R. Tolkien in like Tolkien has this gorgeous, massive, amazing imagination with this very like serious world of passionate characters engaged in amazing adventures, but it's very serious, and it's very just deep and painful and stuff, and it's got so much pathos, and um but so many amazing characters. And I see like I feel like One Piece is like Lord of the Rings on helium. Like if Lord of the Rings sucked on a balloon and then like took ecstasy or something, then it like
Exactly.
that would be One Piece. It it I just don't think that there's any other series that contains them. There's lots of other fun, joyful, happy, awesome series. Um, but none of them are as massive, and none of them are as non-stop, like unexpectedly creative
Yeah.
as One Piece. It's not just that it's one or two big central creative ideas. It's that it's this non-stop, endless chain of the funnest ideas ever, one after another, after another, after another. And he
In
can. One thing that I love about him is that he can take the darkest, scariest situations, like the world's like most terrible, destructive prison, and he can have the funniest, goofiest, happiest stuff happen, even in the darkest, most painful, scary situations. And we were talking about how Tuban Clay is like one of my favorite characters.
yeah.
It's like that guy's beauty comes out in the darkness of like the most dismal part of the story, of them in the depths of the darkest, worst place in the whole planet, basically. Um, and one of the most joyful, happy, creative characters in the story is like a central piece of that dark, dark place. And it makes you laugh unexpectedly. It makes you cry unexpectedly. It's such a great, such a there's no words for what a great creator he is, and what a great series that is.
For sure. Um, I like that you pointed out about him doing a chain of um, unexpected things, because in all of my reviews for the chapters, um, I always say that you should never discount a One Piece theory that somebody comes up with, because if you can think it, Oda has done weirder, and he will do
Yeah,
weirder. Like, he's one of the people in the world where you cannot predict what he is going to do in the story next.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I really enjoy reading his interaction with fans in the letter sections of his comics. Have you read many of those?
Yeah. Well,
The
the
SBS
yeah,
sections in the
the
back of the
SBSs,
comics?
I haven't read them much, no. But whenever I do the reviews, I have made it a tradition to read the note that he always puts at the beginning of each chapter.
Yeah, those are fun too.
Yeah.
He just yeah, even when he's with his fans, he's just friendly and happy and goofy and unexpected in the ways that he interacts with people.
Uh,
Yeah, he's just relentlessly awesome.
and he's not like arrogant or anything either. You read his notes, and he's just a normal dude, and he's like, "Hey, I went to go do karaoke the other day. Hey, I saw the Miss Green Apple show. Thanks for the help on Film Red."
Yeah.
And he's just super nice and
He
super
loves
humble.
encouraging fans' art that they do themselves. He loves featuring fan art in a lot of that stuff, and he's just constantly complimenting his fans on their own creativity and their own love for his series in ways of like just finding hidden little details. And he's a great guy to be a fan of.
Yeah. I really like the fact, and I learned this a couple of years ago, that at the end of the chapters, when you get some color panels that are repeats of what happened in the chapter, like big plot points, he doesn't just sketch over those, he redraws all of the colored panels.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced he has like one of those, like in Harry Potter, Hermione Granger has that time turner necklace
Yeah.
with so that she can like attend twice as many classes as everybody else does. Um, I feel like somehow his like bathroom is a time machine or something like that. And he just goes back in time. He's gonna die early because he's lived twice as long as everybody else, and he does it all just so that he can draw twice as many pictures as everybody else does.
Nice.
He's a machine. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. I certainly hope he doesn't die early. But yeah. Nah,
Yeah, and
he's really good.
he stays 150% creative and excited the whole time, which is just unbelievable. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like I feel like he ate a fruit that allows him to like to not get jaded and tired of
The
what he's doing.
creative fruit.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Creato no mi.
Nice. Well, that's all I really had to talk about today. Thanks for being on, Jesse.
Thank you. It was an honor. I didn't know that I was doing like a season finale kind of a thing with you. So thanks for
Oh yeah,
giving me
no,
the
you
honor
are
of
the very special guest that I've been
yeah,
talking up.
that's super exciting. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to say while you are on YouTube?
No, I was just wondering, was there anything going on in the comments? Is anybody else saying anything?
Yeah. So we don't usually get a lot of comments, but just Trix had said, yeah, Trix had said also a teacher too. Your bro is stacked. You help Afro get into anime. Cool to know. And Oda does move forward with One Piece. Oh, you have the Anna Gretzko doll.
Yeah, she's my spirit animal.
Nice. Last thing you said here was this was a kick-ass stream. We had a oh, I think he's saying we had like 3 or 4 viewers at max.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
No, I'm really proud of you for what you've been doing. I'm really proud to tell people that my brother is Afro X, and yeah, I hope your viewership like doubles and triples this year. I hope 2023 is an awesome year for your channel.
Thanks. You know what I just realized? Me and you have the exact same glasses. Like I think yours are even red also.
Yeah, they are a little brownish red there. Tortoiseshell.
Yeah, but we literally have the same shape and frame.
Yeah, pretty
that
close.
Is cool. Well, yep. Thank you for being on, Jesse, and have a good day.
Yeah, I love you. Have an awesome day today.
Love ya.
See ya.
Well, there we go, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow morning for the review of One Piece Chapter 1073. Keep YouTubing, YouTubers, don't fight the fro, and always remember to stay legendary. See you later, YouTube. Bye-bye.